Just like today, America is a land of extremes. But long before highways, borders, and cities, this land was defined by a far more brutal rule: survival. Long before humans set foot on its soil, long before the names California, Texas, or Alaska existed, North America was already claimed by giants. And in this land, weakness was not tolerated. Hesitation meant death. Size dictated dominance. Power defined survival. Every shadow could conceal a predator. Every sound could mean your last breath. The Ice Age landscape. During the late Pleistocene, roughly between 50,000 and 12,000 years ago, the continent was locked in a delicate, deadly balance. To the north, massive glaciers carved valleys and buried entire regions beneath ice sheets miles thick. Temperatures plummeted, winds cut through open plains, and icebergs calved into emerging lakes. The interior stretched into endless grasslands, rolling plains where herds of megafauna migrated across thousands of miles in search of food. Dense forests dominated the eastern and western edges, dark, humid, and teeming with life. Predator and prey locked in a constant dance of death and survival. Rivers meandered slowly, sometimes frozen, sometimes swollen with meltwater, providing hunting grounds for ambush predators. And through it all moved creatures the likes of which humanity would never imagine. The apex predators. American lion, Panthera atrox. If you thought lions were Africa's kings, think again. The largest lions to ever walk the earth lived here, in North America. Males could exceed 400 kilograms, roughly the weight of a small car. Their bodies were longer, more muscular, built for raw power rather than speed alone. Limbs capable of endurance across vast plains. Jaws strong enough to crush bone. These lions did not hunt small antelope. Their prey included bison the size of trucks, juvenile mammoths, and giant ground sloths. They could hunt solo, relying on immense strength, or occasionally coordinate with a small pride to take down truly massive targets. Their roar was not just sound, it was a warning, a claim of territory that few dared challenge. Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat. While the American lion dominated open plains, Smilodon prowled forests and river edges. Often misrepresented as fragile or clumsy, Smilodon was a master of ambush. Its saber teeth, sometimes exceeding 28 centimeters, were not for stabbing blindly. They were precise, designed to sever arteries and windpipes. Its forelimbs were absurdly powerful, capable of pinning prey far larger than itself. Neck muscles allowed it to drive its fangs with terrifying accuracy. Smilodon did not chase. It waited. Hidden in foliage, in shadows, in ambush points along riverbanks, it could strike suddenly, delivering death silently and efficiently. Its prey included juvenile mammoths, bison, camels, and smaller predators. A single bite could end a fight before it started. Dire wolves, Canis dirus. If Smilodon was precision, dire wolves were persistence. Packs could number over 30 individuals, working together to track, exhaust, and overwhelm prey far larger than themselves. Weighing 68 to 79 kilograms, more robust than modern gray wolves, they relied on numbers, coordination, and endurance. Fossil evidence from La Brea tar pits shows thousands of dire wolves, far more than any other predator, dominating the predator landscape. They hunted bison, camels, horses, and juvenile mammoths. Once they locked onto a target, escape was nearly impossible. Short-faced bear, Arctodus simus. And above all these predators loomed a singular force of dominance, the short-faced bear. Standing upright over 3.5 meters tall and weighing up to a metric ton, it was the largest terrestrial carnivore in North America's history. Unlike modern bears, it had long limbs built for speed. It could sprint faster than a horse despite its bulk. This bear did not need to hunt often. It could simply take another predator's kill. Lions, Smilodon, and wolves all yielded to it. Its territory and presence redefined the rules of predation. The megafauna, giants of the prey. Mammoths towering over all but the short-faced bear, mammoths were the living fortresses of the Ice Age. Adults could reach over 4 meters at the shoulder, armed with tusks curving forward like deadly scythes. Herds reshaped landscapes, trampling forests, expanding grasslands, and reshaping rivers with their movement. Young calves were vulnerable, but even adults posed massive challenges to predators. Only coordinated hunts or attacks on isolated individuals could succeed. Giant ground sloths, Megatherium and its relatives. The ground sloths of North America were living fortresses, some reaching 6 meters tall and weighing several tons. Claws longer than a human forearm could slash, disembowel, or pin predators. Evidence shows healed injuries on predator fossils. Encounters did not always go in favor of hunters. They could stand upright, using their massive tails as support, turning their bodies into nearly immovable fortresses. Predators had to calculate carefully before striking. Other prey: bison, camels, horses. Ice Age. America was crowded with herbivores evolved for survival. Bison were massive, aggressive, and traveled in herds. Camels were agile, strong, and surprisingly fast. Horses were numerous, swift, and resilient. Predators had to constantly adapt, using power, coordination, or patience to succeed. The arms race. This was not a static ecosystem, it was an arms race. Bigger predators forced bigger prey. Larger prey forced stronger predators. Every adaptation triggered another. Lions became heavier and stronger. Saber-teeth became longer and more precise. Wolves grew in numbers and coordination. Bears evolved speed with size. Prey grew massive, armed with tusks, claws, and intelligence. Survival required constant adaptation. Life itself was pushed to the extreme. The cliffhanger. Humans approach. For tens of thousands of years, this system persisted. Apex predators dominated. Megafauna thrived. The balance, though brutal, endured. But around 20,000 to 15,000 years ago, glaciers shifted. A land bridge emerged between Asia and North America. Across it came a species that would change everything. Humans. Small, vulnerable, seemingly weak, but adaptable, intelligent, and strategic. They carried fire, tools, and knowledge. And soon, this land of giants would face a new force, one that did not rely on claws, teeth, or size. The era of predators was about to be challenged, and nothing would ever be the same again. For tens of thousands of years, North America had been ruled by power, size, and precision. Every predator and prey knew its place. The American lion dominated the plains. Smilodon lurked in forests and river edges. Dire wolves never stopped coming, and the short-faced bear reigned above all. But then, something arrived that no predator could have predicted. Something that did not hunt with claws, did not kill with teeth, did not rely on muscle, speed, or size. Humans. They arrived quietly, crossing the Bering Land Bridge from Asia around 20,000 to 15,000 years ago. Small, fragile, and apparently insignificant, they seemed ill-equipped for this brutal, frozen, and merciless world. Yet, in their hands, they carried fire, stone, and intelligence, tools that would rewrite the rules of life itself. Imagine standing on the Ice Age plains, a juvenile mammoth wandering nearby, a pride of American lions hidden in tall grass. Then, across the frozen tundra, a group of humans moves deliberately, silently, communicating with gestures, tools in hand. For the first time, predators faced a species that hunted with planning, strategy, and foresight. Where lions relied on power and Smilodon on precision, humans relied on memory. They tracked animal behavior. They learned migration routes. They coordinated across distances. They manipulated fire to flush prey or defend themselves. At first, many humans didn't survive. Lions killed instinctively. Wolves attacked in packs. Bears struck without hesitation. But humans adapted. They learned. They observed. And they began to turn the tables. Tools and strategy. Stone-tipped spears could pierce the hides of bison and the younger mammoths. Fire drove animals into traps, into ambushes set by humans who understood the behavior of predators and prey alike. A single spear thrown strategically could kill or wound an animal much larger than the hunter. And humans didn't hunt just for survival. They planned. They coordinated, driving herds into kill zones, using landscape features as natural traps. Rivers, cliffs, and narrow passes became lethal instruments. The results were catastrophic for the megafauna. Fossil sites across North America show unmistakable evidence: stone tool cut marks, fractured bones, charred remains near ancient hearths. Predators, no matter how large or powerful, were suddenly outmatched not by strength, but by intelligence. The Ice Age may be over, but its lessons endure. Size and power can dominate for millennia, but intelligence, adaptability, and strategy can rewrite history. And in every fossil we uncover, in every story of a vanished giant, we glimpse the fragile balance of life, a balance humans have the power to preserve or destroy.